Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Azure Lane Fallen Lord. So yeah, let us begin, shall we? So we would currently be in a different perspective, specifically that of a large country. The country seems to have a somewhat more Japanese type of feeling. In fact, it seems to be entirely based off Japan, and entirely in fact, with several houses containing different types of people, mostly with animal features, and some of them were currently going around having fun. Some of them seem to be doing sword practice. Others seem to be on the docks, and revealing that they were not normal humans. In fact, they were Kansen, aka ship girls, as they're currently going around taking care of the harbor. And it would reveal a symbol on a flag. This place was no ordinary country. This was one of the Red Axis countries, known as Sakura Empire. As while they're currently having fun, they would see something in the distance, as one of them would say, revealing that of a cat girl, a little cat girl to be more specific, as she's currently running around the harbor. As she would say, "Hey guys," said the little cat girl towards a few other people. As she would say, "Oh, hello there," she would say as she would look down at the little cat girl. As she would say, "Oh, hello there, Yukikaze," she would say. As after saying that, Yukikaze, also known as the little cat girl, would say, "Hey, do you know what day are they gonna come back?" She would say. As while saying this, the girl with the rabbit ears would say, honestly I don't really know. But I did heard that they're arriving there about in a few days." As she would say, "God, I wish I was there as well. I really want to kick those Eagle Union and those Royal Navy's asses," she would say, as she would start the creating little punches in the air. While doing so, the girl would say, "Don't worry. Besides, we'll be victorious soon." As after saying this, they would hear from a nearby boat. They would say, Guys," said a, revealing that of another, bunny girl. I think. Yeah, that's a bunny girl. Yeah, never mind. I thought it was a cat girl for a second. Anyway, as she would say, Guys, there seems to be more ships coming by," she would say. As after hearing that, everybody would be surprised, including that of the other bunny girl, as she would say, "What is it, Shiranui?" As after saying that, she would say, "Hear you," as that's the name of the bunny girl, or at least this one. As she would say, "Hear you, it seems that they finally arrived back." As after hearing that, everybody would be surprised. As after doing so, they would slowly start arriving towards the docks. But when they arrived, they also see another ship. A ship that they thought was gone. As one of them would say, "Wait, isn't that..." Revealing that of Amagi's ship. As Amagi would slowly come down from the ship, as she would be right next to the others. As everybody would be surprised. As while doing so, another person would come in. The sort of de facto leader of the Sakura Empire, known as... Revealing that of the de facto leader, or I guess you can say the flagship, in a way. I don't really know the terminology all that much about about Sakura Empire, or in general the entirety of of I guess you could say Azure Lane, but I do know that some of them have sort of de facto leaders of each faction. Like for example, Bismarck is the leader of the entirety of, I guess you could say, the entirety of Iron Blood, and Nagato, as in this girl, her name is Nagato, is the one that's actually leading the entirety of Sakura Empire. As the sort of I guess you could say kind of like the shogunate in a way. But either way, she would be floating down, not really floating but down, but more like walking down the, I guess you see the large like dock, as she would say, Amagi, it really is you, she would say. As after saying this, Nagato would say, please, everybody please sit down, she would say, settle down. As some of the other ships nearby would be, would be surprised at seeing her alive again. As one of them would say, wait, isn't that, Amagi? As one of them would say, yeah, I thought she got destroyed by those Ego Union bastards, one of them would say, as well saying a few things about, her not surviving at the time. But Nagato would say, everybody please settle down, she would say. As after saying that, everybody would settle down instantly after hearing her voice, as she would say this. So, you're alive, Amagi, she would say. Yes, I was surprised myself, though it was not thanks to me. It's actually thanks to somebody that helped me, and he also wants to make allies with us. After hearing this, everybody would be surprised, as Nagato would say, and who is this person exactly, she would say. As she would say, well, he's hiding. More or less, he wants to help us in our war. Well, more specifically towards the Sirens. We, or at least me and my sisters have been, negotiating with him for a while now. While we were staying at his kingdom, she would say. After hearing that, Nagato would say, you mean kingdom? Do you mean nation? As she would say, no. It's more, I could say, primitive in a way. As Akagi would say, yes, though I think it's better not to insult him, especially since especially since he saved you, Akagi, she would say. I meant Amagi. As she would say, don't really mean to say that, sister. Besides, he thinks of me as an equal, nothing more and nothing less. And I think it's time for you to reveal yourself. As after saying this, everybody would hear the sound of thunder, but also the sound of roaring, like the sound of dragons and beasts crawling up, coming out of nowhere. As in front of them, or at least almost near the coast of the Sakura Empire, a massive looking ship. Actually, it's not even look like a ship. To them, it looked like a large island with large sails upon the top, with chains like completely embedded into the large mast that seems to be the tower of this large kingdom. As the doors would open, as several what seemed to be almost really primitive ships, almost resembling that of wooden style ships, or I guess you could say ships before the era of piracy. Actually, no, technically more during the 1700s, essentially. Specifically the medieval era, when the times of let's first say King Arthur's era, essentially. As these ships would be revealed, each with symbols on them, each corresponding with the color. As one of the most prominent ships, that of a ship that resembles that of a what seems to be a large dragon in the front, while also having what seems to be, I guess you could say, draconic features on the ship. As they would see a man. Seeing Izuku on top of the ship, wielding that of his signature katana known as Rivers of Blood. But the other ships seem to be ridden by four, not really four, I meant the three others. One of them was Moog, as Moog was riding upon a large ship that when submerged, seems to corrupt the waters nearby as it slowly started stained red. As the ship would start moving, as it would stain the waters nearby it red. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on. As while the ship was being stained, or at least the nearby water was stained red by the ship, they would also see that he has, you know, wearing different clothes in a way. Instead, he's wearing something a little bit more formal and less, I guess you could say, religious in a way. As they would notice the other two ships, revealing that of a woman on top of the ship's helm. Or not really helm, but more like the actual tip of the ship, or at least in the front of the ship. As she would be somewhat beautiful with red hair and golden eyes. But the most distinct feature is that of her left arm. Actually, yeah, left arm. As she seems to be missing it. But it was replaced with a metallic prosthetic arm. As she would be wielding that of some sort of golden like katana, or at least in a way a katana. As the last ship would be revealed, and on top of it was revealing the last person on another ship. As several people would be rowing the ship, almost like the Romans back then, as it would reveal a man, as he seems to be quite tall, not like a normal human. In fact, his limbs are quite, well, I'm just gonna say this, he just reminds me of Slender Man. If Slender Man got into the Roman Empire, actually I meant Romanian. I mean, yeah. As he seems to have a lot of wings. Not that they look like they're functional, but it looks like a design statement, as he would be wielding that of a large spear. As he would have the same red hair and golden eyes as the other girl. As they would land their ships. As one of them would say, who are those guys? Said a somewhat... The green-haired cat girl would say, who are these guys? She would say, afraid, seeing their appearance. As Amagi would say, these are the guys that saved me. As after hearing that, Nagato would be surprised, saying, wait, they saved you? She would say. As when they landed on the docks of the ship, or at least on the, on the coast, they would sit down, as several members of their specific crews would slowly go onto the docks. As the first person that would arrive in front of Amagi and the others, as he would look towards the little girl, aka Nagato, as he would say, so you're the leader of this group, right? Sakura Empire, as you call yourselves. As she would say, yes. And are you, as he would say, as he would lay down his katana, as he would say, Izuku, the Elden Lord, he would say. And I'm the one who saved your little ally over there, Amagi. As after saying this, Nagato would say, I am thankful for you saving my ally. Though I have one question. Are you an enemy? She would say. As he would say this, no. Besides, I only care about this making allies here for now, since my kingdom has been attacked multiple times by the sirens. Those beasts. After saying that, she would say, I see. After hearing those words, she would look towards, Akagi, and she would say, come with me. As after saying these words, both Amagi, Akagi, and, Nagato and him would start leaving. As he would look towards his group. As he would look towards Moog and the two redheads, as he would say, you may do whatever you want, but do not harm them. After all, I'm gonna be negotiating with them so we can make us allies. After hearing that, the now heard Moog would say, very well. after saying these words, the other people there would be scared looking at his face. I mean, have you looked at it? But either way, we would end off this episode right off here. So, yeah, bye bye!